Hello and welcome, everyone. It is the top of the hour, so I will begin here in case you're getting on to your lunch or in other areas of the world, breakfast or dinner. We have started the recording, and we will send out this recording to everybody that has registered for the event. Our marketing department will format it and send it out. Um, Today, we're going to be going over the digital codes premium features. My name is Phil Anthony. I'm with ICC as the digital code solutions specialist. I will post my email in the chat as we get started here. If you got any, questions after specific to your organizations, feel free to send me an email. And also, while I'm doing the presentation, use the chat box, the chat feature there to ask any questions. Go ahead and post them to everyone so we're not, so people can see what questions are being asked. If I get to a breaking point here and I'll stop and halfway in and answer those questions. And then we'll always have time to circle back at the end to answer any questions and unmute the mics if people have questions that they'd like to talk or ask verbally. So I will begin here. Let me first welcome to you. Yes, this is Digital Codes Premium, ICC's Digital Codes website. If you want to play along, so to speak, and look at some of these features while I'm doing it, there's a couple suggestions. If you already have a license, you can go ahead and log in and be able to, follow along. If you haven't acquired a license yet, we do offer a free trial. So I'm not logged in yet. So if you just go right to that homepage that I have here, the codes.iccsafe.org, I did drop that in the chat so you can click on it. And you scroll down just a little bit here, you will be able to see, and I said I wasn't signed in, but I am. So let me sign out so you can view that first as well too. So yeah, scroll down just a little bit there, that big blue rectangle. You can start a free trial. It truly is free for those 2 weeks. You do not have to provide any credit card. All you got to do is create an account, and it will go ahead and you'll be able to get access immediately. Just check your spam folder in case you don't see the request to confirm your account. But as you can see, you set up the account, and when the 2 weeks is done, you're not obligated to do anything. The trial will just end. You can order your licenses at any point during that trial, and those will kick in and be deployed when you register. And once again, yes, this is totally free to try, no obligation, and it is for our complete collection. And I'm going to go through all those. Let's first start off, I guess, with some of the phrases and descriptions that we use on here. Sometimes people ask questions, what do these things mean? What is premium? For example, is the very first question. So to give you a little background, ICC has hosted digital codes at this website for many years, and I'm not logged in, as you can see. So I'm going to start here. We do make available for everyone to be able to view. We have collections that are available, the iCode collection. First thing I'll mention here is that when you get digital codes, you will be able to see previous cycles. So for example, when we start talking about which licenses you want to buy, if you buy the 2024 iCode collection, you will get those previous cycles that you see listed there as well too. So both convenient and a money saver. You don't have to have 10 cycles worth of books. You can access everything on digital codes online. The second category that you can view for free would be any of the state amended code collections that we have. So if you go here, you're able to see, and you're probably familiar, for example, the California Building Code is based upon the International Building Code. So any of those selections that you see in the locations can also be viewed without a license. When you have a license, it's going to unlock the features that we call Digital Codes Premium. So let me go ahead and log in. And what you'll notice that when you do have a license, you see all these nice shiny gold, or it actually looks orange, doesn't it? That words that reads premium. So instead of just being plain digital codes, that was a view only for iCodes and state locations, you now have a premium license that unlocks all these features that we will discuss in the titles that you have acquired. And then over here, you can see that, yes, it shows that I have the Premium Complete, which is one of the types of collections that you can acquire, and there happens to be just about 1,900 titles that we keep adding to, and that will continue to grow. So premium refers to the license, or we can sometimes call that a subscription, a digital codes license or digital code subscriptions. It is different than the word membership. Sometimes people want a digital codes membership, and there is an ICC membership that is available. It does have its own benefits, but in addition, you would receive a discount off of any of the digital codes products that you would acquire. So if you are an ICC member, make sure it shows the member pricing. I'm going to go through everything we see on the menu bars here, and after that, I'll get into the actual features and show those. But let me go to the pricing page here. If you haven't visited for a while, we have created this page in the last couple of months. Let me take the time to drop that link in here as well in the chat. Okay, dropped in there. So here gives a little bit more information on some of the terminology we use. So these are all the choices for a digital codes premium subscription. You can get just a single title. An example of a single title would be the International Building Code 2024. And if you got that one single, we do have the pricing plans, it goes monthly, yearly, and annually, but that would be considered a premium single. And as I said before, if you get the 2024 IBC, you'll also receive the 21 IBC, 18, 15, 12 going back. Now, if you are in a situation where you want the I-codes and you start to add maybe 4, 5, or 6 separate titles in the I-codes, there is 15 I-codes that we have totally, it would be better off for you to subscribe to the I-code collection. So that would be an example of a collection. If you start to put too many singles from the same collection in your cart, you'll see that the price will be more than what the collection would be. So check that, and it's always a better value to buy the collection of I-codes, the 15 I-codes, than 15 singles. Another example of a collection would be, I just showed you, there was the California amended codes. So any state amended codes, we do have bundled collections. That would be an example of another collection. And another one that is extremely popular that people frequently ask for would be the I-code commentaries. So that would be a different collection. So you could order a combination of singles, a couple collections, but if you start adding collections together, it will be more expensive than acquiring the digital codes premium complete. As we said there, we keep adding more content to there. That one is always updated when there's new amendments and changes for the cycles. In the previous ones, when I mentioned the collections and the singles, whenever there is amendment to that specific last title, those are updated as well too. Just to note, because sometimes people ask, if they bought the 2021 collection of I-codes and they want access to 2024, in that situation, what you would do is just cancel the 2021. You can call our customer service to do this. You'd cancel the 2021 I-code collection, you'd acquire the 2024 I-code collection, and you'd still have access to 21, 18, 15 going back. Let me scroll down here a bit here, and we do have some icons in here that'll show you, let you know the basic view. That's another place where you could view all the titles that are read only. And then I will talk a little bit more later about how you can use this with your teams. It doesn't mean Microsoft Teams. It's just how you can use these licenses throughout your organization, because any number of licenses that you acquire, you can configure them to be dedicated to a specific user, or you could share them in a group where, for example, if you had 10 users and you had 2 licenses in there, 10 users would be able to go into that group and access your licenses and the contents. The only limitation would be that just 2 at a time could be in there simultaneously. So the number of licenses in we call it a shared concurrent group, the number of licenses in there is equal to the number of people that can be in there simultaneously. So here, if you wanted to just, do some searching for specific titles and build a cart there, for example, I just typed in the IBC underneath the single. You would be able to add that to your cart, and it doesn't go to the store yet. This is kind of just made to allow you to price out the different options. And once again, this will show you both the ICC member price if you're a member. So make sure that price is in the cart when you actually check out. And then, the regular price. You do not need to be a member to buy digital code premium licenses or to use it, but there is a significant discount if you are a member. And then once again, you're able to go through and annually is going to be less expensive than 12 months. And obviously 3 years would be less expensive than 3 years each year singly at a time. So summarizing that, there is the member price discount. There is the term discount. The longer the term, the more it will be discounted, as you can see here. And then there is the license quantity. And we do put these price breaks at low tiers. So, one is one price. I know there's a different price that breaks at 2, and then there's one at 3 and 4, and then at 5, and then just so you're aware at 10. But whatever number you put in there, it will reflect in the price as you're playing around and building the cart here. Let me go ahead and close that and move it around. And then I will show you, because to be frank, most people will end up getting the complete collection because it's such a value and it has those 1,800 titles. Probably the biggest reason is, for the most part, people do want the I codes. And then if they're adding in the state code collection or the commentaries even, you definitely will spend less money if you get premium complete. So I'll just show this real quickly, since this is a common request, how much this costs. Once again, I'll put it in the cart there, add it over, minute, clear all first, complete. Let me refresh that, probably because I'm going back and forth with it. Let me go back to complete, add it to the cart. There we go. Sorry for that delay. There you go. It is a monthly price. Sometimes this is convenient too if you're just not sure how many licenses to acquire. I've used that as an example with some customers. If you want to try just monthly before you decide to go to an annual or a 3-month plan, it's relatively inexpensive to do that. And then, as you can see here, this is probably the most common one people acquire. There is the significant discount that you see if you are registered as an ICC member. So if you're an ICC member, make sure when you log in, it has your account that you're a member under the account, the email, the same email. And then also, if you do the 3-year, then it takes that down significantly as well too. All right, let me go back to the homepage. If you got questions on, buying licenses or the terms that I just described here, go ahead and post them in the chat. I can see the blue dot on the chat showing people have asked questions. Let me go through some of these features at the top here, and then I'll take a break in about 5 minutes and check those questions in the chat. So now that I am logged in, let me go to, for example, the 2021 iCode collection. So as you can see here, we have all the different titles that will be in that specific collection. And if I choose the 2021 IRC, I'll use this for an example. And being able to navigate through the chapters and the sections, this is also available in just the free basic view. But when you click on any of those sections, up will pop that particular section with the code sections. And the first thing that I'll point out is that you are able to copy and paste. So if you make a selection here, you can either control copy it, or you can copy the text with that icon there. And you can use that in your email communications or putting it in a Word document or such like that. So if you scroll down, like I said, we can navigate all these different code sections like this. And then if we come down here, one of the other great things about having this digitally instead of in a PDF or print is you're going to have all these additional insights. And I'll use this tab over here to search and describe some of those. But since I came upon this, let me show you this right off the bat. So this, you see the types in blue. What that will indicate is that this was a change from the 2018 IRC to the 2021. So you are able to see what those changes were. And then you are also going to be able to, while I'm in this section, I'll show you that when you see a hyperlink, you're able to go ahead and just hover and see that. And then since this is a web-based product, I can open the next thing in a new tab and be able to go in between tabs instead of just using the back button. So you can have multiple tabs open. Obviously, you're familiar with this works. You want side by side, you can do that as well too. These next, I'll explain all the rest of the icons that are in this section. We talked about the copy text. The next one is for you to be able to mark up and create a note or bookmark or a highlight. So if I select that one, the tabs go, there they go. It will bring up this dialog box. Now here you can make any type of custom notes that you'd like. And we were talking about having dedicated license or shared licenses in a group. If you have a dedicated license, these notes will stay private to your own account. If you're using an account that has the shared concurrent group, other people are able to view your notes. So this gives you that collaborative experience where if you make a note on a code section, people will be able to view that and be able to have that, even brought into the next code cycles when the code cycles updates. As you can see, it's got a strong text editor. You're able to do the strike and cross throughs. You're able to highlight parts, bulleted list. You can bring in files from your computer. You can insert the links, URLs in there, and you can, put as much information that you want to have in here. And then the next great feature of this is you can organize these by project tag categories. Obviously, there's a default there, but if you've created other project tag categories in the past, you are able to scroll through and be able to select those. This is also an example if you're in a shared group, any project tag that someone else has made, you could choose from there as well too. You can create your own tag, name it there. You can choose the color that you'd like to have for it. There's a sliding bar here. You're able to go through the different colors and such. And then that will be saved in that drop-down list as well too. But if I go ahead and choose this one and then save it, so now I have this note that has been attached to that specific section. If I happen to have a long note, you can always collapse those. But here's an example. If I was scrolling through, I would be able to see that there was a note on that section and be able to expand it out, be able to see who created it. There's the project tag and any of those custom notes that were created in there. The third icon is a print button. So you do have the ability to print or save to PDF any code section and its subsections. You obviously can't PDF the entire book or the chapter, but if you're in a situation where you want to print this out or save it to your desktop, instead of copying and pasting where you realize you'll probably lose that formatting, especially like in tables, this will retain all the format. It's going to give on the top of it's going to tell you what title it's from, what chapter, goes through the code section. It's nice on the bottom. You're able to see that it comes from the authoritative source, the ICC, and you can obviously print that out with the print button, or if you want to download it and mark it up with your PDF editor, you are able to do that, and then you can use that to save it for a project or send it as an email. The final icon on each code section is the copy link. And as we said, it's all web-based. So if for example, you're on the phone with someone, you could copy this link. You could send it that link, paste it in an email, and then when they receive it, they'll click right on it. And as you can see, it's that exact link there. So they are able to, let me get out of there. They are able to click and be literally on the same page with you, no matter where they are at in the world. And then there's the example and since even if they don't have a license, they are able to view this since this is an iCode book. They won't be able to copy and paste. They can't, see your notes or anything, but there's the example that you could send them the link so they could view it. And if they wanted a copy of that code section, you would be able to save it as a PDF and send it out to them. We go over to the notes section. So the iCode titles, state code titles, just about every title that we have in there from the ICC we'll have the ability to make notes on it along with several of the SDO's contents that we have as well too. So this will show you all of the different notes that were created in this particular title. And these are hyperlinks. So if I click on it, you'll be able to jump right to it and you'll be able to see what that note is. You also have the ability, here's where the putting categories on there can become helpful. If I wanted to select just a specific project tag category, it collapses down those notes just to show those. So every one of these notes on the side here will be the project tag that I have stated there. So you can filter those. And as a note, there is another kind of like an admin page where all notes from every title is located. So in addition to be able to see in which project tags are in this specific title, you could print out a PDF of, for example, the CLBC project tag category and print a PDF off of every book that you wanted to include that has that project tag in it. So very convenient, be able to find these notes later on when you use those project tags. Final thing I'll show you that's on the iCodes. This is just going to be on the iCodes. Let me go back a version here though. As you can see there, whenever there's a new printing that comes out, we can update that and those will be in there. So you'll always have the most up-to-date content and information. So the insights, for example, here I am. If you happen to come upon a code section that has that insights logo there, you'll be informed that there is one of these different categories of insights. This one happened to be commentary excerpts. Obviously, we're not going to put commentary excerpts in every code section in this example. We do have a separate ICC iCode commentary collection where you can view all that, but we did include these for people who may not be familiar with those titles. This gives you an example of what a commentary does. It takes that initial code and then it breaks it down with more explanation. Usually there's diagrams to go along with that. So it gives a complete background upon that code. But instead of going through and searching through, there's another example actually. I'm not sure if you're aware, but ICC has an evaluation services report division that does reports on specific manufacturers' products. Those will be attached in some of those sections as well too, so you're able to view those. Those will be located wherever you have that E logo at. And like I said, instead of just trying to scroll through, figure out which sections have it, we've now added this Insight tab over here so we can filter by that. These other ones here, the premium answers, I'm going to go through and show that as another feature that we have. But on this one, let me just choose the key changes, for examples, or the code. Well, actually, the key changes will probably be a lot on the code change details and hearing videos in this example. So let me just do that. And it's hard to see what happened, but what it did was collapse the table of contents there to only show those code sections that had that particular insight that I chose. So as you can see, you got all the different insights here. The key changes, that is from one of the other collections that the ICC produces. And these go over summaries of code changes, of significant changes. So there'll be both the significant changes and revision history that you'll have access to with complete. Those are included with complete. And these kind of go into more detail about why that code change happened. And then let me choose one that definitely has a hearing video and code change details. If I go to one of those, and like I said, that has actually, there's the errata evaluation services reports and insights. So I clicked on there and it takes me down to the bottom where these are located. So the code change details, this is a section that had that blue type in it. These are the proposals for the code section to be changed, and you can read through each one of them. Some people love having this so they can see why the code was being asked to be changed. And then you can additionally be able to view many of those hearings where the changes to the code are being discussed. You can watch those being discussed and voted upon. And I'm going to pause here in a second. I think I've covered most of the things you would see in an individual title, from how to navigate using the contents. how the notes are created and how they can be accessed, and those premium insights that you can search and filter for. Let me go back to the homepage, stop for just a second here. Reviewing some of the questions that we have here. All right, the amount of devices on the premium complete. So what you are able to do is access it from any device that you own. So let's say you have a personal license. You can use that personal license on your desktop at work, on your laptop, wherever you are at. And since this is able to be used on any device, if you have your iPhone, iPad, any device that has an active browser, you are able to access your account from there. So yeah, no problem. It's like, I think you're probably referencing to like a PDF. A PDF sits on one of your employees' hard drive, and then when they forget about it or move on, you can never, get it, and that purchase was kind of lost. So yes, you are able to access this from any device. All right, let me go through our menu items here, because then I'll be able to catch into some of the premium tools, but some people just need a little help navigating and knowing where to go. So when you actually acquire your license, the first place it's going to drop you into is, we call this the dashboard. So it recognizes who you are when you're logged in. We do make it easy to keep track of those recently viewed titles. So if you're in something frequently, you're able to jump right to that. There's also the ability, as you can see, I clicked right on there. If you want to make something a favorite, every title will have that heart there. And if you click on that and fill that in, then that will appear in your favorites as well too. So the recently viewed will be there. Your premium titles includes everything that your subscription is included. So if you just got a single title, you'd only have that one title in there. If you got a collection of 76 titles in there, it would show those. Some people like to use that because we will present everything to you on this main page, including, for example, like our standards and everything. But if you don't have a license for those, then it would tell you that it's not in your premium title, and you could, then decide to add that to your account as well too. And there's also a filter if you wanted to search by specific categories or title within your premium titles. Favorites is just what I explained there, and as you can see, there was the last one I just added to it. If you have so many favorites, then no one is special anymore. You can go ahead and manage those as well too. You can, change the order what they appear. You can delete them out of your favorites, so it's easier for you to manage. Over here is, we've put some of these items in your dashboard so they're easier to access. There are some like administrative things over here that I'll go through as well, but we've put some of those in here that are used frequently. The quick consult I'll go over when we go to the premium features, AI Navigator, compliance calculators. While I'm here, let me show you the notes and bookmark page that I had mentioned earlier. So this will give you an overview. And once again, if you're in your own personal account, of just the notes that were created in your account. If you're in a shared concurrent group, you'll be able to see everyone's notes through here. And if you scroll through here, you're able to see every title that had a note made in it. Goes through, you can expand the list out there. And if you were to click on one, it tells you how many notes there. So if I wanted to expand that out, you could see what notes were created there. These are all hyperlinks. You can jump right to it as well too. Also, while I'm here, those notes, you can see the button to migrate the notes. So when the next cycle comes out, any notes that you have created, if you want to move them and delete them from this title, you can do that. If you want to clone them, leaving it in the 2020, for example, and moving it into 23 and copy and clone them there as well, you are able to do that as the cycle changes. Just move over here, get rid of some tabs. And there's my move notes. Let me go back on it. Let me just hop back to where I found it. Notes and bookmarks. And then here's where the project tags can be organized. If I wanted to take that same CLBC, as you can see, it shows that there was 12 notes across all these different titles. I could give it a name, and this is something that you could generate a PDF from and have this documented if you want to bring it to a meeting or whatever. This will have all the ones that have the CLBC project tag on it. As you can see, it's going to give you what title it's from. That's a 218 IBC. This one's from amended code. So you have the ability to use and access your notes in many different ways, and that's under the notes and bookmarks. The project tags, this is a way you could go through, and if you wanted to edit what the name of it was or delete that or change the color, you can do that from there as well too. Going back to the dashboard. And then we try to keep you updated with what has been happening. New titles will be through here. Different things that we're releasing if you want to see what's under there. CDP, this is a good one to talk about too. So if you're in the 2024 I-codes, you're probably aware some people are already requesting changes for 2027 already. So as I showed you before in the 2021 version, what the change codes, the original proposals and the hearings were, this is a way that you can look at 2024 and see ahead to what's happening for the proposed changes in 2027. And you're able to get into your concurrent group this way too, but I will spend some time and talk about that towards the end here, how you can use this in a group for teams. I'm going to continue to go down through here. Codes is just going to bring you back. If you notice, these are the same choices that are on that main menu I showed you at the home page. This will bring up our search options. I'll come back to that when I go into a title. Favorites, you can also access your favorites here and manage them from there as well too. And then the quick consult. I'll take some time on this because this is a new feature that was added. It comes underneath our premium answers. So I'm going to explain this whole page here of the premium answers. If you're an ICC member, you may be aware that you can ask code interpretation requests of our ICC experts, and we've been doing this for decades. So we have a whole library of these that we have begun digitizing, and as you can see, we've got 332 there now. Those keep increasing each month. But what you are able to do is view these questions that were asked by a specific member and be able to see the answer for them and how they arrived at that. It will show you the original question. Here is the expert opinion from the ICC team. And if you want to jump right to that, it'll take you right to that section. And that is an example of an insight. So there we are there. If you're scrolling through here and you happen to see you're interested in this code section, you'll be able to see, oh, someone had asked a question on this. Is it related to what my question is while I'm here? So you're able to view those wherever those are located. And two ways to find those. Once again, going back to that third tab there, if you're looking for just premium answers, that will filter those. And then going back to the dashboard here, let me get rid of some tabs. Sorry. Makes it easier in the future then. Go back to the premium quick consult. So the premium answers can be viewed when you're within the book. And then if you wanted to do a search for a specific phrase, term, you can filter that way. You want to search for all premium answers that are attached to code sections in a specific book, you can do that. Or if you're looking for a general topic, you are able to select that and be able to view those as well. The second part of our premium answers that we just released is the quick consult. Now this is a paid feature within digital codes because it's not required. You don't have to pay for this. We have actually, our biggest requests were from the AEC segment that may not have been ICC members where they could ask, as I showed you here, these questions. And when you do those, you submit them on a form in your membership page. and you get an answer back usually in about a week. What we've done here is provide another option, which is a paid option. That's going to, a couple advantages is it's going to be answered a little bit quicker with that priority. And you're going to be able to view the whole process from you asking the question. I'll just click on there. So here's the way you can purchase credits. And when you use a credit to ask a question, you'll be able to submit that, and it's going to go through the whole process. So it's going to show you any that you just submitted. And as you can see, this is grayed out. I don't have any. Which ones are in progress and which ones are answered. So you'll have this library of your own specific questions saved within your Digital Codes premium account. And the sample answer here, give a quick view of that. All done professionally, so it's going to be in a PDF format. If you needed to have this in a project or present it to someone else, you'll always have access, as I said, to your questions, to the answers, and be able to access those through there. And like I said, it is optional for people that want it. It's been highly valuable in the first few months we've launched it. It's up to you if you want to use that, but that's the reasons why people like to have it there. They want a little bit quicker and they want to have it within their Digital Codes premium. Some more on the premium tools. Let's go through, well, we talked about the premium answers, but I will now show the AI Navigator. Let me do it this way so you can see why I asked the question in this format. Let me go to my 2021 iCodes because I will also be able to show you. Let's take the IRC. There is, and this was going back to where I showed you on the menu where you can go to the search. If you start in a title, you're already in a title, it will stay within that title with its search. So if you did a search for a specific word, it's going to bring back just the results. As you can see, the filter is already automatically set for just the 2021 iCodes. Now, if you have a couple words in there, you probably are all familiar with using this exact phrase or any of the words. While I'm here, let me show you this. This is kind of neat. If I wanted to do a near-term search, this will take your two search terms and it will look for any results that have those two words within 50 words of each other in the same code section. So that's another tool you can use there. And if you scroll down a bit here, because you could, if you wanted to, from the home page, access this search. And now, not going to do any good searching for window probably by itself across 1,900 titles. But like if you wanted to do a global search and then narrow it down to just a specific title or even a categories, like, if you just want to search the California codes or the iCodes, you can do that. You can select specific years and add those to your filter. Just remember to hit apply each time you add a new one. And then you can also search if you're looking for like specific content that has that word in it that is a table or a figure. You're able to search that way as well too. So that's kind of cool on how you can use it, but let me go back to my IRC again and set up the AI Navigator in my example I always use. So if I go to my IRC and I want to know if a roof thing, excuse me, let's pop up this button first, advanced search, because I'm going to add in multiple terms. I want to know if a roof can drain onto a sidewalk. So let me just, you know how this works. I want codes that have all this in here. Let me search it. All right. Don't be disappointed. I knew it wasn't going to give any results on this. This is all part of the setup for the AI Navigator. So there was no match with those three words in a code section. So here's an example where an AI Navigator is really helpful. An AI Navigator can be accessed right here. It's always going to be underneath the search bar. But once again, yes, you could go to the premium tools and it'll be there as well too. But quickest way, search bar, AI Navigator. All right, you all are probably familiar with the terms AI, ChatGPT, and such, and sometimes it doesn't get such a great name because it's going to if it can answer a question with 15 paragraphs of content, it will do it to show you how well it can use its artificial intelligence. That's not the goal here when you have a code question that you want to be answered. So we have spent many hours, many, many, many hours training this to provide the best answers for any code question. There may be other products out there where you may see things like this, but feel free to go ahead and run tests against them. This is going to give you the best answer for two reasons. We put time in to make this a great product, and it's only going to search within your library while you're in Digital Codes Premium. It's not going to go outside to the internet and access some so-called expert who can't read the codes correctly. So this is a closed loop, closed environment where you're going to get the information from the authoritative source of the codes and the standards. We do allow it for you now to choose if you're in California and you just want to search the California codes. So different collections, we're making it available. We're adding more states in there as we get more content. For example, though, I'm just going to use this because I set you up already with it with this question. I'm going to search all of the I codes. Can a roof drain onto the sidewalk? So as you enter the question here, I'll give you a couple scenarios. As you can see, you can ask a common language question. So I use this as an example with jurisdictions. You got people at the front desk who get the phone calls, and I'm sure they get code questions. What do they do with them? They probably see if anyone's, from the code department that can answer it for them. If they're not there, then they wait. Phone messages, voicemails, whatever. Here, if it's a question that they can answer right off the bat, this saves so much time. So here we go. We ask a question. Didn't have to know what book it was in. Didn't really have to be very specific about how I asked it. Just this is a way, a contractor might ask or a resident. And even you guys who are girls who are experts in code, maybe you could quote what titles it was in. Could you quote the exact code section, everything else from it? And did you know, yes, I used IRC as an example, but it's also referenced in the IPC as well too. So here's an answer that, using my same example, someone could read off to them. They have the section number, they have the title and everything. And then if the person says, well, that's great, but I need more information. Well, there's the actual code section. Going back to my, previous features, I could copy and paste that to them. Hey, here's an example that there's a note attached to this. So if someone else in the office is looking this code section up, they'd be like, okay, yes, this applies everywhere except on Main Street or something like that. So there's the historical notes you can put there that may help people in the future. So if I want to go and jump to that section within the chapter, and here's the cool part, I'm tying it all together with what I was showing you before, but there's the code section. So they're on the phone with the person. Here's that example. Well, let me copy and paste it to you. They're like, well, no, I'd like to view it myself. Oh, let me send you this link. Okay, that's great, but I can't copy it on mine because I don't have a license. Okay, well, let me print this out for you. Let me mark it up according to our city ordinances, with there may be exceptions or something else you want to do, and I'll send it over to you. So yeah, kind of a nice example where someone could take care of a common code question if that suffices for the questions that, people happen to be calling in for. And then finally, what I'm going into is there's that original question. Remember, I put in roof, drain, and sidewalk. The reason why I got 0 results in a regular advanced search is because if you look at the actual code section, it doesn't actually use the word sidewalk in it. Some of these code sections actually read public walking surface. So there's the advantage of AI. It is able to go ahead and use that fuzzy sort of logic to find the answer to the question that you really want answered, and it doesn't matter how you phrase it or how you what words you happen to use with it. You're always going to be at least pointed in the right direction and get further along in your quest for the answer. Oh, I am coming up to a time here. Let me quickly do this, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. I gotta explain how to use these and share the licenses as well too. The compliance calculator. You're going to see more of these in here. These are available to, with anyone that has a DCP license. You're going to be able to plug in your own calculations. The next one due in early 24, I believe, is an occupancy calculator. So this is just kind of a sign we continue to add more features and refine what we have for this. Um, and add to it continuously. So you're always like in the Premium Complete, we keep adding the new titles as they come up. We keep trying to get more SDO content in there. And then I'm just going to do a quick review here because you may look at this page and then I'll explain how you can use the licenses and share those in a group. Premium Insights I talked about. Those are all the additional information that you won't get in a print book or a PDF. This is extra content that ICC is adding to those code books that's going to give you further information. Advanced Search, we showed how that works in a good sense, and we showed how it doesn't work, where you could use the AI Navigator if you're not sure exactly what the code reads. Once again, that color-coded text, the blue type was changes in the I code from one cycle to another. If you're in the California code, you'll see some red type. So in the CBC, the red type there is an amendment that California made to the IBC. We even do local custom building codes. So if you're at a smaller city or county level, we have that nice pink fuchsia color that shows the changes that the city made to the state codes. So everything is going to be much more easier to find, view, add those bookmarks, and then obviously being able to copy, paste, and print. All right, I'm going to quickly go through how you can share the licenses. As the administrator, whoever acquires the licenses, make the purchase, the licenses are going to show up in your account with that same email address that you made the purchase with. All right. When you click on these, this is for everyone that acquires a license. This is always the first step. When you buy licenses, you don't have to specify if they're going to be dedicated or shared. It's the same price. We do not charge you more to share a license. Just a quick hint on that. Normally, I see people feel it works best, not at a lower ratio of one license or a different ratio of one license to 4 users with moderate use. If you have people who are in there frequently, maybe you get 2 licenses for 4 people or 5 for 10. You can always add more licenses to a group, but just remember the price breaks you see there. If you're going to get 5 eventually, don't buy one at a time, buy the 5 and get the quantity discount. So if I bought 3 licenses myself, they all start out as a personal license. I would have 3 here. I made a group already, but if I wanted to sign one of my license to someone else, I can do that by adding their email address. And when they log into digital codes using that same email address, their license will be available for them to use. The concurrent tab, that is the shared concurrent group that I was talking about. So you see the purchases. I bought 3, 2 of them I haven't. One's for my own use. I leave it there. One I can assign or make another group with. One is in a concurrent group. So you would go through the process of creating a concurrent group and you give this group name to the individuals that you want to access it. So deployment is pretty easy. You do not, if you have 20 people going in there, you do not have to enter in 20 different email addresses. You can just give them the group name. Everyone signs in with their own account. As you saw before, one reason is so you're not sharing login information. The other reason is so that it can attribute the notes that are made in that shared group. So everyone have their own unique login. When they log in, it's not going to read complete or premium. It'll read basic because they don't have their own license, okay? They're going to go into a concurrent group. And to enter that group, it's just a second step for them. It'll say their name, it's their personal account, basic. When they go into that group, they will have to manually enter that group name that you gave them the first time. When they enter that group name, it shows that they're now in that group. So just using the small example of one license for 4 users, all 4 can go in the group, but only one at a time can be in the group. So when this person is done, they have access to all the, whatever license you put in there. When they're done, if they click on the personal account, it releases that spot immediately, and that's confirmed because you can see it, they're back in their personal account. All subsequent times they log in, and here's an example. You can be in multiple groups. If you go into a shared concurrent group, it will recognize you've been there before, and it gives you the option to go in there. So I have some companies, they got an East Coast and a West Coast, so they want their notes separate. So they got two separate groups, but you can be a member of more than one group. They don't have to manually type it in or remember it. They just click right on it and they are back in. If they forget to log out, the safeguard we have is that after 20 minutes of inactivity, it will take them out of the group. If they're not active, they're monopolizing it for people who would be active. So whether they go to lunch or home for the weekend, if you are on a 30-minute phone call, if you're not using going through the screens in a 20-minute time period, it will kick you out and make it available for someone else to access. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to check the chat. I know there's 9 minutes to the top of the hour. I will have time to stay on if people want to ask further questions, but I do want to wrap this up for people who need to get on to their next meeting at there. All right. People ask, if you choose one level of membership, are you locked in it for a year, or can you change it to another level? We are going to be updating. And if you have questions like this that can't be done online, you can go ahead and contact our customer success. They have access to some more tools than what I do, but we will be updating this pretty soon where if you have a 1-year subscription, you could update it to a 3-year subscription and they would be able to adjust the pricing. If you're asking about, can I drop from 3-year to 1-year? That's not allowed because you got that discount there. So if you wanted to change from your 3-year to a 1-year, then yes, you could select that. It would run out your subscription to the end of the 3 years, and then it would start you with your 1-year subscription going later after that time. Limit of user per subscription. I believe that's the same question I probably answered here with that concurrent code. You can get one license and you can share it with 100 people. Don't want to say it in that way, but no one's going to be happy. So the real question is how many people may be using it at the same time. It's not going to be a good situation if you don't buy enough licenses and no one gets to use that. Let me throw up another tab here because someone asked about the membership. I apologize for this URL. I don't know why they made it this long. I am dropping it in here because it is a good question. Because like I said, if you start creating your cart there and you go to your store, this is the link that I just put in there. I'm not in membership. I can't give you all the information of all the benefits, but I'll just go through here real quick. If you're a governmental, jurisdiction, one of the reasons why this is priced differently is because it does allow you to have voting rights. And like I said, I can't go too far into detail with that. I'm not that familiar, but if you're a governmental member, then you have voting rights within, those code hearings. Different levels for the size of your jurisdictions. Here's more information about member benefits. Like I said, you can contact ICC membership directly from here as well too. If you're in the corporate world, there's a $695 yearly price for it. When you do this, you are able to add multiple. I don't know the limit on it, but you can add people from your organization. So one person would be the admin, for the membership, but you could have multiple people underneath there, and those people would be able to ask those code opinion questions, get all the benefits that you have as a membership. And I'm going to explain this a little more. This needs to be updated. It should read 2024 iCode Digital Codes Premium Collection. So if you are a member of the governmental, of the corporate, and if you want to just do individually, you will receive, in addition to whatever licenses you want to, like the complete, you will receive one full collection of the 2024 iCodes, which does include 21, 18, 15 going back, okay? So you as the administrator of the membership account, those will be in your page when you log in with that same license. So I got people that, buy complete because they want all the other content, but they just throw all these other titles for just the iCode collection into another group of people only need to access iCodes. So realize that this is just the iCode collection. It doesn't have the commentaries, state amended codes, anything else like that. But to be frank, it is a great value. It's $888 not being a member, and if you're a member, it's for free. So, and then the final one here, if you don't need any of the benefits that ICC provides with membership, if you are a participating member, this will allow you to get discounts on the DCP, for example. Some of the books in there available, and then there's a note there. You don't have the complimentary free iCode collection, or you don't get the opinions there. Last note here, if you're a governmental member applying for this, it does go through an application process. They have to make sure you're legitimately, jurisdiction governmental member. On these other ones here, if you're doing the purchase in the cart, I believe it has worked before that if you go ahead and apply for this and put it in your cart first, everything afterwards should reflect the ICC membership discount, and just make sure that it does there. Let me check the chat one more time here. Yep, being the 20-minute auto logout, we get requests sometimes for it to have it customized. It just brings in too many other problems with the programming in it. Being kicked out of it when during that 20 minutes, I guess the challenge is if you're not actively using it, someone else might want to be using it. So in that case, don't be in a shared group, be in your own private account, and you can stay logged in. Just another difference. The main reasons between dedicated licenses, the advantages there is that all your notes are private and you're never kicked out after 20 minutes of inactivity. Sharing the license in the concurrent group is you can buy less licenses for more people, and you can collaborate being able to view the notes. Sometimes people have trouble adding titles to the concurrent group. That is a problem that I am aware of and notified our tech people. Just who've ever done that, or if you're another person that has that problem, send me an email. We'll set up a time. I'll walk through it in the screen. But just to let you know, what they're referring to is if I start creating a group, it's easy with Premium Complete because it's just one tile for 1,900 titles. This person is probably referring to the iCode collection, which, as I said, it's just the iCodes, but since we add bonus materials in there, there's 76 tiles in there. So you have to select each of the ones you want. And if you select too many, it stops you from being able to see the menu. If the person who asked that question wants to try it, as you start adding those titles, and you know how the screen gets all big here, if you click where your selections are and hold the mouse down, you'll be able to drag it up and be able to view the bottom bar. Like I said, if you're in a situation having that exact problem, let me know and I can work it out. I'm going to post my email here again at the end. I know I'm at the top of the hour. I'm going to stay on for anyone that wants to ask questions in chat or wants to unmute the phones. So give me a second here just to check one last time if there's any other questions. And what I'm going to do is stop the recording. And as I said, I'm going to stay on here. So thank you everyone that has attended this session. We try to do these every month. Sometimes we have specific launch releases that we'll have specific topics for, but we always try to do a general one like we did here today. We'll be posting those for the new year in 2025. So once again, this is Phil Anthony of ICC Digital Codes Premium Solutions. I will post my email in here as I turn off the recording, and this recording will be sent to everyone that registered. So I'll pause right here, stop the recording, and then I'll be available for more questions.